What is up, everyone? This is your host, Christopher Malcolm Bowen, and we are just diving into the awesomeness that is me, and it is all of creation and all of the love that I actually express all the time. And I'm actually expressing my ultimate, penultimate, just greatness of my undeniable success. And so I was thinking about making a broadcast later this evening instead, 10 or 9 o'clock. But I wanted to do it earlier. So, there is a lot of motion and a lot of acceleration and a lot of excellence happening in the truth of just discovering the truth. And, I am really happy. I'm really great. And I know that greatness within me, and I'm just discovering that potential is to be utilized, And I want to bring forth clarity, and I want to bring forth goodness, and I want to bring forth all that's good. And I know that I have the bravery to do it, and even weirder, maybe it's not bravery, but the thing is I am really happy. I think that's one thing to know, or to be important about, caring about, or intent about, or just focused upon, like, in life. And so I also want to clarify with life. I mean, just things, there are things that I may think is distractions, but everything happens for a reason, and we're all connected, and we all live in a very higher dimensional reality being and state of life. And so that's what I want to continue to support. And I've been doing great things, and I am truly amazing. I am truly outstanding, and I'm outstanding in every single facet, in every single fixture, and everything. And the thing is, like, I'm able. Like, I'm capably able. I'm full on able, just capable of doing anything. I've been already so successful. Like, I don't need to know that I'm not successful. And I know that I'm not successful, and I've literally been, just that great, and I believe in myself. And it's weird that I actually believe in myself that much, and I trust myself, but the thing is, like, there's no reason to be, and so that's why I don't want to repeat, but it probably does happen. Anyway, okay, let me slow down and speed up. I don't want to repeat myself, but I probably have been repeating myself, but the point is, like, I do want to say that I do love everybody, and I really do care for everyone, because everyone is important. Everyone has special art forms and life forms and creational forms within them, and that's exciting. And of course, I'm just a brilliant being of light that's just unstoppable, godly, and incredible. So obviously I'm going to give my full heart, effort, and mind into everything that I do. And it's interesting, I don't care how subtle it is in my subtle tendencies of excellence, and I don't care how amazing it is in my incredible amazingness of excellence. I am perfection, and I want to emanate the greatness of leadership that I'm continuing to lead. Like, that I'm going to continue to lead. And I'm going to guarantee to lead. And, you're like, am I going to slow down? Like, I'm just, pew. The thing is, I've been marching forward. I've been just, like, leading, and I'm going to continue. Like, I'm not going to slow down. I mean, the thing is, I don't slow down. The thing is, I have trust in me. I have faith in me. I have faith in myself. I have faith in my creator. I have faith in myself. I have faith in the things I've done. And the thing is, like, it's astounding. And I'm used to it being astounding. And, it's all about, the creative things. And, okay, I do take responsibility, if need be, and accountability for those things. And because in a way, you're supposed to defend against freedom, or defend against enemies, foreign and domestic, or just have, fight for freedom, defend liberty, all that stuff. So, like, either way, that's kind of happening, and I want to support that. So the thing is, like, I want to accelerate the life that has the most potential, and obviously it supports the rights that we have, which, actually needs to be, and that's the foundation that we need to get to. And I feel like we already know that, and I really need to know that, and I really am, like, adamant about that. And it's interesting, because I just sometimes I just, I think I might be spamming, but the thing is, I'm spamming for success. And it's weird, because, like, oh, what am I going to do with all the botherment and all this, and, I ask myself, and I say, like, what am I going to do? Because it's that hilarious, Okay, anyway. Hilarious. The thing is, it's also recap. 10 things. The 10 strongest people in the world. So, I actually think, anyway, there's a lot of thoughts going through my head right now. But the thing is, that's what I want to talk about. That thing about, which is just great to point out. That thing that it's funny because I'm harping on it. It was with an example that I can explain in the level of action. Law of action, like, I'm going to do anything less, work any harder, or work any less. See, anyway, I don't even need to get into worth ethic right now. It just seems that funny, actually. It's hilarious. Anyway, the ridiculousness of having the critics critique the comedy show, that comedian, and then immediately after the votes, or they did their own vote, which was originally 0%, and then open to the public, following is 99%. So like, come on, like, what's going on there? I also want to recap something else that happened that I think might be important, because it was just a leadership thing, but I also want to see if like it's vibrations, and probably was vibrations and echoing and shaking and just thundering and echoing and literally having seeds of light that will eternally be planted in your sacred mind, will eternally be planted in your heart, and will eternally be planted in your soul, because that's how important it is. Well, I'll talk about that leadership session a little bit, but the thing about this or I wouldn't really call it censorship, but just this weird output of reality, how only these type of critics could critique on what David Chappelle was saying on that. When he's talking about the left and making fun of the left, and just talking about the left, all the things he was saying when it comes to like the left, it's just really clear to see, and I didn't even want to bring up tyranny. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say the word tyranny. I didn't want to even pronounce the word. But like, tyranny is like, it's stupid. And I already said this, because I've actually had to lead by example, which is why I'm also so incredibly, just freakishly buff. But like, just in every single way. But that is like the founding. That's what founding fathers did, or that's what the founding fathers did. That's why it's God-given rights. That's why the Constitution is written. That's why we have the Bill of Rights. It's to make sure that tyranny doesn't subvert the ridiculousness of the greatness of God's Spirit, which wants to, for example, give its all. And it's able to give its all if it's not subverted by some ridiculous, weak, tyrannical system, which doesn't actually allow the human spirit to be expressed. And it's so amazing, because it's so obvious. And it's ridiculously how clear and obvious that is to me, like, all of a sudden. Like, I thought it would be really unnerving that, Google's doing all the things that they're doing and all the censorship, but it's not. You know why? Because they can't touch us. They can't even get to the core reason of why this spirit is so powerful in all of creation. And here's the thing, like, I know my voice and sound is actually mountainous and just horrifyingly huge and like awakening and just loud. And I'm aware of that, and I'm totally okay. But the thing is, I am not okay with. I mean, the thing is, like, Google is such a big thing, It's such a huge prospect that we have to understand and really discovered. But the thing is, what happens is, and it's, especially me, and this is what happens, creativity is going to win anyway. Like, there's no reason to, like, I mean, creativity is going to win anyway. Creativity literally is the action of discovering the connections that we have. I mean, regardless, we all form more connections with each other. We're not going to form I just explained the sarcasm of it, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, are we going to be really connected to these entities, to these non-living entities, and just become a mixture of suggestions? No, like I don't even know what to say. Just like a bucket of suggestions where they could just put suggestions into you and then shake the bucket around and then empty it out and then do the same thing. Or, just slap stickers on the bucket and then say that bucket is, reserved for slavery. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, however you want to frame or however you want to talk about tyranny, like, go ahead and talk about it. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't want to talk about tyranny, obviously. I'm all about supporting freedom. Um, the thing is, the excellence with, and there is a sense of unity in, what these amazing broadcasters do. And of course, I am giving a huge shout out to Alex Jones and InfoWars and spreading that link and spreading that information. It's kind of interesting how important that New Age success. And the thing is, I am also saying, like, I have my own consciousness and my own awareness and my own sense of liberty and striving forward and my own, sense of fighting for liberty, which is kind of ridiculous because it's consistent and it's very dynamic force of liberty, tidal wave flow, tsunami, and there is the fact that we connect with one another regardless because of the fact that we can utilize one another to communicate with one another. The types of creativity that exists with the foundational creativities that we have that connects us with one another in market and trade, and what I mean by that is I like the examples of. It's interesting. I literally said bones, which is not what I'm getting at, because we are in a way advanced, but at the same time we're not letting the advanced technology control us at any level, like as in enslave us, which is important to say before I say how important it is also to have those products, because the products are good, and the trade stuff that's going in between the world is also important. But the thing is, like, I want to see trade not just as that's boring to me, because I'm just discovering more. I'm just discovering that I'm just blasting out, which is really what I'm doing, because that's how okay. There's no duality. Like, I'm blasting duality. Like, there's no duality. Like, I don't even have patience for it. It's kind of what I'm saying. Like, in a responsible, like, leadership, like, manly sort of way. Anyway, so I don't feel like discussing that anymore. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So we're in a place of being where we can actually live in a world that's really advanced and actually live in an advanced civilization where we're working together and no one's really against one another. Like, we're actually flourishing, we're actually producing, we're connecting with one another, and we're not infighting. We're not pointing fingers, not infighting. We're not saying he said, she said, they did best. There's none of that. There's none of this taking or stealing. There's none of that. There's none of this lower vibrational reality stuff happening. There's none of that. That's not happening. There's none of this negative, aggressive behavior to destroy, demean, or hurt, or cause harm to another being. There's none of that. It's all cooperative. It's all communicative. It's all peace building. It's all unifying. It's all higher dimensional, higher energy level, working with level. I mean, come on. Like, okay, so, like, what am I going to say? Like, okay, I just didn't blow everything out of the water with my tremendous amount of patience that I had with the thing that I actually laughed at. The thing is, like, I don't even want to talk about it, because I don't even need to. And the thing is, like, okay, yeah, if I decided to stay, like, a comedian, I'd be a great comedian. And, like, I'd be the comedian who leads by example and, actually says and actually states, what is actually that famous is that famous. Do I just want to repeat that? Do I just want to repeat that glory scene? Do you think that was the reason why I made the 10 strongest thing in the first place? And it's amazing because, like, by the second day that happened, I was already thinking about the 10 best comedians in the world when there's only really one. And the amazing thing that Joe Rogan said. But that's what happened. And that's what happened. Alex Jones pointed out to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan pointed out to us, everybody, ultimately. But he pointed out, how can something like that happen? How can that's the freaking system, it doesn't even make sense to me. That's how much I don't understand it and don't like it, and it's like I'm explaining it and talking about it like I love my form of communication that has to do with the lifestyles of communicative connection with all of reality. Like, do you think I just want to, like, waste time? Do you think it's funny because, like, they waste time with subjects that don't matter? And it's interesting, like, because I don't have patience for for the things that don't apply to certain instinctual methods. The thing is, there's so many things that are happening. Like, how could I be patient with a certain study, a certain a specific sense of living? Like, how can I be so specific, like, for something like that? Like, how can you be like? Anyway, the point is, like, it's wonderful. It's wonderful that we got. I have so much emotion. It's ridiculous. It's wonderful that we got the amazingness for the connectivity of. See, I don't even want to say a single thing. Okay, so like, because if I see something, if I'm already speeding with creation and precognition at the same time, and okay. Yay, fusion in the hands. I gotta have patience. All right, here we go. I really, really, really support the idea that having that meeting and coming together, and then but also coming to the other side of it, is probably a really important thing to do. And I'm glad I'm the one who made that decision, because I'm the one who really wants to move forward. And regardless, I stated exactly what I was doing and exactly what I did. And the thing is, if I sense things go super slow, then obviously I'm going to accelerate it. But I'm accelerating it to the point of what the absolute greatness is. So the thing is, like, I'm just so sick of just sending it out, and then waiting for the response from the universe when I know it's already within me. Do you think that I think that's, the thing is, like, I actually am exhausted. Like, I'm actually exhausted. And, like, that's me. Like, I am exhausted. I am exhausted. I mastered it. I did it, okay? I already, dude. One thing that I think is really cool is I watched it going on. I watched the AI. I watched it going on. I watched the communication. I watched it going on. And, it's like, and I affirmed it to myself, so who else needs to know? So it's like, why would I ever not be based upon the reality of these beings? Why would I not be See, the problem is, it's actually that frustrating. And I really, like, want to be, like, a good, polite, wonderful person, but I think it actually is that frustrating. It's like, oh, I can just make an army of me's. Just like universally multiply myself and then go about my work and then continue to anchor my own essence into myself, my creative self, my human self, and just recognizing those connections and then really anchoring more energy into me and just continuing to be more spiritual. And it's funny because, like, I say it's funny like a question mark. Like, we should hesitate about the greatness that I wish to employ from the imploration that I have as a comedian. That makes fun of the excellence that comedians' culture actually personifies in terms of how we actually need to develop in terms of what our natural state of being is, which is joy and positivity. It's not sickness. It's not. There's no such thing. That's what's so frustrating. There's no such thing as negativity. There's no such thing as illness. There's no such thing as disease. There's no such thing. Nothing. The thing is, I actually have to say this. The thing is, everything that wants you to have negative things isn't for you. It's obviously not for you. Like, all the things that wants illness and weakness and all the things and all the entities and all the beings that want slowness and want enslavement of others, or just like, you have to realize that it's not for you. So here's the thing, like, and it's new news that's that I'm saying and that I'm saying that I'm actually saying. So news. The news is that not everyone is healthy, not everyone is happy, not everyone is you know feeling good vibes. Not everyone has like a happy mindset. Not everyone is healthy. Like the truth. There's just some facts about the truth. And there's some obesity, concerns going on. I definitely support the products. I mean, I've tried them myself. I support the InfoWars Life products. I support the human body. It's hilarious how I actually have to say it like that. Advertisement, explanation, leadership, explanation. Advertisement. So freaking funny, right? Because I think I actually am that famous or something. I think it's something wrong being that famous. And the whole purpose was not for me to be famous. The whole purpose was for me to succeed in my life so I could be where I want to be. Not to flail around with some... Anyway. Traditions, right? Traditions. Ridiculous. Alright, so... healthiness. Like advertisement. Bone broth. It's so good for you. It gives you a lot of strength. And it boosts your rejuvenativeness. And it, for me... one of the effects was increased blood cell production. I had a lot more blood cells in my body, and I had a lot more endurance, obviously, and I could run, and I can move a lot more, and I was just stronger. I wasn't necessarily buff, but when I was taking the product at the time, I was really strong. And I was stronger than everybody else, and that was obvious. And I had more energy than everybody else, and that was obvious. And I could keep more energy. And I had that for a long time, and it was really good. I support all the InfoWars Life projects. Look, see how that much fun is, the slip of the words. I love the InfoWars Life products. I take them, I support myself, I've advertised myself as, I tell myself I get so hilarious that, I am the advertisement of On It, which is another thing. Shout out to, anyway, what am I even talking about? Nature, as the quote that nature loves courage. Weird that I'm talking about that. Anyway, so I talk about that to say like, oh, this is the guy who actually supports the freedom in its finest sense. Because I'm the only one who can support freedom in its finest sense, as the liberty, who actually went forth in the way that was with its own curiosity to venture forth on a frontier. You see, I'm not trying to be upset. I'm very happy and I'm excited. I'm just tired of repeating that I have to say I'm the one who's making waves on the frontier when I don't want to say I want to make waves to the frontier. I want to be at the frontier. I want to be on the frontier. I want to be the frontier. I want to be the frontier. I want to create the frontier. And I want to be the frontier. I want to go past the frontier. I want to create it again. And then I want to manifest it. And then I want to manifest so fast that I am the frontier. And then I create the frontier. And then I go through the frontier. And then I pass it. And then I excel past it. And then I accelerate it. And then I tell people about the frontier. And then I invite people to the frontier. And I allow them and inspire them to become the frontier. And then I pass the frontier again and again and again until I discover what the frontier means to me. Right? Because that's what the frontier means to me. What I discover it means to me. What I discover is my potential in all the action that I did myself, and my fearlessness, and my acceleration, and my devotion to some mythical journey that I have to literally explain the progressiveness of the acceleration, of the tenacity, of the fearlessness that comes from the only seated willpower of pure force, of pure nature, of pure elemental energy, of pure love, of pure trust, of pure, I gotta trust in something else so much that I gotta say it comes from me. Whose frontier is that? Is that God's frontier? Is that creation's frontier? Is that my frontier? Is it the frontier that I already passed, that I already surpassed? Am I having to rely on my own uniqueness and how I perceive reality in order to accelerate reality itself? Do I have to be the one who constantly has to set the example so that I can be patient and deserve the greatness and the gift of life that I have for myself, in myself, within myself? Discover that within myself? Do I have to say that, like, even me knowing my own happiness, even me knowing my own greatness, and being pleased and present and satisfied with that, do you think I have to be the one who has to literally go above and beyond, consistently overpowering all that's in my way, to repeatedly discover that the essence of what's actually inside me is yet to be discovered? Do you think that's fair to the to the frontier? Is that fair to the frontier? That I have to express myself to the fullest? You know, like, just not even talking about all the fun stuff that I know, all the facts and all the truth that I've been spewing for years that has to do with the types of inventions, not only that are already invented, but that can be made, the innovations, all that jazz, all that stuff, all that jazz. Not even getting into details about that, but just to actually discover that for some reason I can motivate myself beyond what even sometimes I think I can motivate myself to. Well, like, I gotta motivate. Dude, I didn't know I could do certain things, you know? I didn't know that I could do certain things. But to be tenaciously fiery for a reason that you know is right, and then just to maybe give your all. Just in the inkling that you might be right, you know? In the force of good, and just maybe you decide to give your all, and then you give your all, and then you move, and then you see where you are. Like, I don't know what else to say, like, other than there's no such thing as fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. Dude, I don't understand why tenacity has to be elevated to some certain types of educational system, which I obviously was talking about before, which is like the measure of idiocracy plus indoctrination. It's like a freaking equation. It's so funny. Do you think we should be indoctrinated? Do you think we should be surveilled and indoctrinated, and then surveilled from the indoctrination of our own lack of awareness of the indoctrination that occurs? Do you think it's okay that, dude, like, what we have in this country is we have the ability to have a founder who actually warns us that we need to have our, like, I find it so hilarious. I don't get it, dude. You know, it was 10 strongest men, or 10 strongest beings, or I didn't say either of that last time. This is just so much fun. I want to say 10 comedians now. I'm really into comedians now for some reason. But at the same time, you know, I feel like they're not into me. But that's okay. I am into them, and I think they are into me. And the important part is I just want to have fun with the culture. The funny thing is, I'm not trying to subvert your willpower. Everything else is. If everything else is involved in having as much control as it is already involved in, do you realize the silliness and the ridiculousness between that gap? Do you think I have fun just playing around on the surface of the world where we have this ridiculousness of, like, either I agree with the ridiculousness of the two, like, ridiculousness of feudalism, or I just see like those. It's so funny. Like, I want to say, like, those who know me already know where that was going. It's ridiculous. It's funny, but, like, the thing is, either way, I gotta stand on the surface, and I actually am, and I am, but I gotta stand on the surface as that being who's like, oh, this is like our world. There's a unified, anyway. See, I think I actually make fun of myself, but I don't. But I think I do. But I actually don't. So, I'm just trying to figure that out still. So yeah, I'm the one who stands on the surface of the planet and is unified in my heart and mind and soul and body and spirit and energetically and etheric body and all that stuff. I am unified with the Agarthans. Like, I would say, like, in one word, I could do whatever I want, or I wanted to say something more dangerous, but there's no point in saying that. But in one word, I can say whatever I want, and that one word is Agartha. That's all I have to say, is one word, Agartha. That's all I have to say. So, and I can say Telos. That's all I have to say. Or Shambhala, the city of Shambhala. In Agartha. That's all I have to say. Or Ariani, land of Ariani. Or Adama. Or Mikos. Like, that's all I have to say. Anyway, so, because there's, anyway, I get so funny, I try to explain it. Because there's no duality on the surface of the planet, I'm unified with the united consciousness of the fifth dimensional vibration and the fifth dimensional reality on this fifth dimensional conscious planet, which is totally accepting of unconditional acceptance, unconditional love, and unconditional forgiveness. That's the type of environment I live in, because I think it's very exciting to be able to walk around on the surface of the planet and be in tune with every single thing and have the opportunity to actually exist as an embodied creator being and having fun, be able to do whatever I want in the limitless amount of bliss that I have, in the limitless amount of potential that's already within me. And then to be able to have, like, the greatness of this domain, this surface domain, for years. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm not afraid of my enemies. Yeah, my enemies are weaker than me. Yeah, I conquer them and win all the time. There's no duality. There's no duality. So anyway, the fact of the matter that, like, it's ridiculous. Like, we're not supposed to have all the advanced healing, for example, technologies, quote, according to the beings that, I get so sarcastic, it's ridiculous. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Even though it's kind of repeating what I'm already capable of, what we already are capable of. And I feel like I feel like it's denying something that we're capable of, which is the stupidest thing in the world. Like, it's denying that relationship exists of this huge system in which there's all these. Just let's talk about the advanced healing technologies that already exist and have been in existence for years. That you know, super rich people have, and they've been using. They're not going to let you use it. They're not going to let you have it, and they're not going to let you be a part of it, obviously. So there's that. They're actively not. Okay, here's one thing that's bad about it. They're actively not letting you have it. But that's not how bad they are about it. They're actively poisoning and harming you. But that's not the half of it. You know what I'm getting at? Like, I don't even know how to explain, like, how bad it actually is. Because it's almost too much fun to make fun of the fact that comedians are upset already at the people who are just absolutely anti-human isn't a strong enough word, because what a comedian's job is. This is hilarious. I'm talking about a comedian's job. This is so much fun. A comedian's job is to make people laugh. A comedian's job is, you know, comedy is comedy. Comedian's job is comedy. Reminiscent jests, freaking prophetic joy, to situational irony, whatever you want to call it, whatever types of quirks and stuff that freaking comedians do. Comedians' job is to make you laugh. That's their occupation. They make you laugh. I just felt like I had to break it down that way. I thought that was pretty important. I want to explain that before I get into more detail about this amazingness that happens all the time. So we got corporations that are bigger than countries, that are more powerful than countries, and I've already said this. Okay, I want a specific example. There's just such a huge... The thing is, like, there's such a difference. You know, the thing is, like, since we're not, apparently, which I think is obvious, since we don't have all those advanced technologies and things, and since we are just using the pathetic old stuff that we're using now, you know, all the cars to tools. So anyway, I feel like I'm just describing the whole thing. If we're obviously lying to ourselves, whether we believe it or not. We're lying to ourselves if we think like what we have is the best thing that there is out there, because it's not. And you know, the thing is, like, these huge, super rich guys, super like trillions of dollars and these big banksters, they have been anti-human. They actually are not for humanity. They have all this power, and they're actually anti-human. And the thing is, we can have some... I don't even know what to say. Okay, I can have so much power if I, was in the same position I wanted to help people. You can have so much power, you can be in the same position, you can help all those people. We can have so much power if we're in the same position, we can help all those people. Do you see, like, either way, it's a better reality than anti-humanism. And the thing is, like, even saying and speaking and saying something, just making noise, literally... Dude, I don't even feel like explaining this. Even making a sound will literally scare the bejeebies out of these weaklings that are trying to control and enslave and already have a breakaway civilization and trying to... Dude, it's just ridiculous. There's all this... I don't get it, dude. I don't understand it. I don't even want to spend more time understanding it anymore. So, ta-da, drew a line there. That's my new fun line. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't even be patient with because here's the thing, and this is what I do, which is probably no one's going to understand, and that's fine, only I'm supposed to understand that. But here's the thing, like, what are you going to do to get those types of technologies that they already have? What are you going to do what are you gonna do to have those realities? I mean, seriously. And the thing is, there's probably, which probably isn't true. I probably hope it isn't true. But then, you know what? There's nothing that you can do. You know, there's actually nothing you can do. Not only because there's nothing you can do, it's because you don't know what to do. You don't know the facts. You don't know the information. You don't know the intel. The thing is, like, it's so easy to take advantage of... I don't even know how to say it. It's so easy to take advantage of a planet that has a constant sense of manipulation due to things that are literally anti. I don't know how to say it. The things take you away from life. They don't bring you to life, you know? I don't even know how to say it. Anyway, like, what I like to do, like, from my perspective, from Project Lightseed, just whatever people may think they understand of it, or people may not think they understand of it. Either way, I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone, or better than everyone, but but I am saying, like, with things that already happened, and with the urgency that apparently Google has to indoctrinate and have algorithms that target and stuff. I'm just so exhausted. I know that there's things that I've done already that should be here and that have a basic foundation of love and peace and prosperity and perfection for all of life. And the thing is, they know that too. You know, the bad guys who have all this power and all this money and all this wealth and are just floundering and want to live forever and all this advanced technology and all this stuff. And they just, they're actually targeting, their goal is to enslave humanity and to put people on enslavement things and, to control them and to give them technologies for mind control. And I already know that, or give them technologies for mind control. See how hilarious I actually am? I think I actually said that. Anyway. They have mind control technologies, they have... And the thing is, I don't... believe in the action that we're not powerful enough to connect just any essence of us, but let's just say vision, to the spiritual vision that's already here. And what I mean by that is, the truth of the amino acids computers by the actual friendly beings that live in the inner earth that are highly spiritually advanced. The thing is about being on the surface is we gotta support liberty, and it's important to support the president, support Trump, and support freedom and liberty and what we're fighting for all this time, and support life and really get to know one another. The thing is, we know, I think deep down and subconsciously or even consciously, we know that we're not enemies. We don't need to fight one another. And we know that we're actually not fighting one another. And we know that we are actually cooperating with one another, And that there's more reason to cooperate. And it's a beautiful journey. And it's a very healing journey. And we need to cooperate. We need to cooperate. We need to be successful. It just sounds hilarious. Oh, I'm exhausted, guys. I'm actually exhausted. Dude, I actually look forward to sleep. I'm tired of inspiring people right now. Right now, for the next few instances and the next few moments, my goal is not to inspire anyone. Dude, I'm just so tired. We should have I don't want to, see. I'm so tired, dude. I feel like I have fun in my mind that I lead a revolutionary in a way, but no one is like me. No one's like me. No one will ever be like me. I don't even know if people want to be like me. I don't even know if people want to be me. Anyway, it's not for me to decide or know or care about. If I were to multiply myself and be my universal self, I should expect everyone else to be there. I don't think like that. I just think in love, The thing is, I can tell... Never mind. There's no such thing as someone being... or something being devoid of love. Because love is all that is. Love is everywhere. Love is infinite. And infinite reality is important. I was also just thinking, which is on the podcast, which I'll probably listen to. But, it didn't... I opened... Oh, yeah. Alright, that's just only for my own patience and my own sort of consciousness, sanity sort of thing. But, it's the 13th day of the Immortal store, and, I opened it this morning. I open every day at 5 a.m. and then close at 11 p.m. or 11:30 or 11:45. So it's a pretty legit store. I mean, I like it a lot. I have some fun with it. I have my own fun in the store. I mean, it's a big store, obviously. lots of space, no pun intended. So, it's great to do shopping and stuff like that. Because, I've had a mortar store for like 13 days. And I've just been, I'm, in a way, I guess I'm the owner. But in a way, it doesn't really belong to anyone. Because the immortal store has been open for so long. And people have been coming and going. And either way, the immortal store, it's like the opportunity to be able to, go shopping for things that you wouldn't normally shop for. And it's literally allowing, it's my own segue, which I perfected. It's my own segue of connecting leadership reality with being, honestly, how happy I am. And the thing is, like, I just love that. I love being happy. I love being as happy as I am. And I am happy. So the thing is, like, I've been really aware. I've been really aware of just the cognizance of repetitive attitude. Oh, snap. There's probably a lot of things I haven't touched upon. But, there's a lot of facts. I just feel like getting... I have, like, an emotional grunt. I feel like I have, like, a 10-year-long visional twitch. Like in the military, you're supposed to have like a 100-yard stare, like when you're standing at attention, just looking straight ahead. Or like it's good for military branding, it's also professional and it looks clean and stuff. Like when you have a 100-yard stare, you can have that same mentality for like life. Like it applies to it applies to life. You can be direct, you can be, and the thing is, like, I'm so tired, dude. The thing is, like, I really want to, like, Alex Jones' show today was very important, very key. I think there is some very important things that, not obviously the listeners obviously understand, not only that the listeners obviously understand, but the fact that, like, the establishment is so, like, angry and so upset and so pedant why the establishment is actively, trying to censor Alex Jones, which is ridiculous. No one should be trying to censor anybody. That's, like, no one has that much time and energy or that much hate. Nobody does. Like, think about how much energy that takes. They actually live to try and... Do you know how much energy that takes? They actually live to try and focus all their attention and all their energy and all their money and all their power on someone. And to have them be... to everything. Like, and it doesn't make sense. Like, they actually... I think there's, a level of just ridiculousness that I'm not going to get into, which is hilarious because I'm talking about it. But the level that they get into, that's so bad and it's just so evil and so despicable and disgusting that they actually lie. That they will actually lie to you and they will actually tell you lies. And they will actually lie about you. And that's what happened to Alex Jones. But they lie in a legal way. And the thing is that there's an evil that literally is tyrannical in a way, but it's evil. It doesn't even have to be compared to tyranny. It doesn't even have to be compared with elitism or socialism or corruption. It's just pure evil because it is the literal effort of trying to not have anything. It's literally like trying to eliminate nothing. I don't even know how to describe it. It's perhaps I can't understand it, can't reach it, which is probably quite exciting, and I hope it terrifies the globalists. But there's no way. There's no way. There's no way that there would be so much. And the thing is, like, there's not, and that's, oh, goodness gracious, I don't even want to say anything anymore. It's like it's not that I don't know what to say, it's like I say like I don't know what to say, and then I say like I can know what I want to say, and then I can say that. The thing is, like, he literally is not a bad guy. Like, Alex Jones is trying to get the truth out, for example. I'm not saying defending him like he's not a bad guy, I'm just saying, like, first of all, do you know how much energy it takes to just say that he's not lying? And that the lies that are told about him aren't true? Do you know how much energy that takes? Do you know it takes energy to actually say, like, I'm a good person and I'm doing all the right things. Also, these evil people over here that are lying, dude, it doesn't make sense. It's like saying the evil people that are over here that are lying are dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, I think everybody's deserving of love. So I'm like, well, they lied, they should be deserving of love, because I forgive them. We live on a planet that's full of unconditional forgiveness, see, that's what I'm saying, like, I don't understand it. The thing is, like, how do I talk about this? Why? Here's the actual action part, because the action is in the truth and the answer, in a way. I hope so. I think so. Whatever. Why is there consistent action towards lying? Why is there consistent action towards subversion, towards manipulation, and towards lying, to just to the extreme amount of censorship that goes on? Why is there an intense amount of lying? On the show, and not just the lying, but why is there an intense amount of attacks that's occurring to Alex Jones? Why? And the thing is, the truth is, the amazing situation is that there are literally people who have all this power, that are literally just being told what to do, that are literally just being told what to do or whatever. So they have all this money, for example, and they want to, dude, it's exhausting me explaining it. They want to deplatform him, and I'm getting upset because I can't have the patience to deal with anyone who has a chicken neck. And if they want to have the willpower to be weak for something as great as America, then I'm going to waste my time belittling them. This is so much fun. How else can I recognize the force of some type of tyrannical understanding without the capability of discovering that I'm able to be that free myself, because of the liveliness and the pure energy radiating from my spirit, from within me? What does that even mean, Oh, goodness gracious. I'm actually, like, very, very, very happy, and I'm thrilled to be the one who knows. Dude, I'm tired. There's so many different ways to say it. There's so many different parts of elements that these corporations are a part of, that have been enslaving certain aspects, and having all these taxes and having all this control with corporations and all this enslavement, indoctrination, all this power, this pile up, this stuff. So, like, we got all this stuff coming on to, like, oh, I'm tired, dude. I'm actually exhausted. Alright. I need to be more specific. What I mean to say is, so the actual thing that's going on is that, these globalists are really way up at the top. But they don't really want us to prosper in a way. The only way that the globalists can prosper is by continually sucking life from everything else, sucking life from the planet and wherever else they go. Because I know that there's such thing as the ICC, which is what I read a while ago, the intergalactic corporate conglomerate that has mining operations and was actually, for example, would kidnap children not only from, the ICC would kidnap children and then take them to another planet to be slaves, which is horrible. And, that's the thing that I was fighting. That's the thing I'm fighting. And the thing is, I got to be honest with myself about that, because that's what I'm fighting. That's the entity I'm fighting. It is, it's an entity that literally takes children, kidnaps them, takes them to another planet, literally enslaves them for the rest of their lives, and there's a way to free them. They can be freed. All those prisoners, all those people that were enslaved by the ICC, all those human beings, they can all be freed. And so that's getting to the example of what's happening today, or I say what's happening today, but what's happening in general. And I say what's happening, but just so I can be affirmative with accelerated action and prosperity and peace and a free world, but and progress and renaissance and a golden age and all that beauty and wonderfulness. The thing is we can look at that the same way. There was, which we don't really need to talk about it, or I shouldn't talk about at least, but there was kidnapping, trafficking of children here that occurs on this planet. And, they're abused, purposely abused, and there's unnecessary abuse that goes on. That's what I'm saying. So, in a way, it could be perceived the same way. We can have the ability to go to those. As funny as that sounds, we have the ability to go to those planets and free those people. We can liberate those beings that are enslaved on the planet. They can be freed. So I find it fascinating that there's a way to. I just say it's important to stay focused on innovating and building stuff. Because I can't say that. Oh man. I need to stay focused on building stuff. But the thing is, those inventions already exist, and I'm blah blah blah. When I talk about inventions, I already know I'm right, so that's why I say blah blah blah. It's important to assume that there's good in the world, and I'm a good person. I'm the one who wants to free people, and what helps to explain or helps to ignite, I guess, would be which is funny because I think I also play a role in that. Galactic balance of powers, the ICC. Oh God, I'm so tired, dude. Dude, I'm exhausted. I think I'm gonna cut this broadcast short. I don't really wanna. I don't want to get too into life, but all I'm gonna say is this. Alright, so that was pretty bold what I did that morning. but and I might have that tradition still. Um, I may open the Omono store 24 hours on like a Tuesday and Thursday. I might do that, so we'll see, but probably not. Anyway, what was I talking about? Fudge. What was I talking? Oh well, I forgot. Well, anyway, I want to have so that whole event thing with the 20 uh, beings, supporting Christopher Bowen show, the 20 broadcasters. That was fun. It's probably still going on, things like that, because I think I need to really recognize the importance of, which this sounds kind of hilarious, but I need to know what the future generation wants. And I say that hilariously because I took it seriously when I want to, lead the future generation, which is, for example, Eric Kahn. I wanted, I was watching his. I'm one of. I think I learned a lot from him, and the thing is, we should upgrade that level of celebration. No. So, oh snap! That's actually what was going on. Yeah. So, perhaps I am that great, but the thing is, I don't want war. I love the. Okay, here's the thing. I'm American. Anyway, I don't need to say that. But anyway, I just think this connection is the most beautiful thing, and the thing is it's strong love. And I asked him about inner being, and I talked about inner being, and I think that's an important thing to talk about. And so and it's fun, need to say that oh. And it's mind blowing because I actually want to access that potential of the truth by telling the truth, by believing the truth, by going gung ho with liberty, by saying just be the forefront of marketing, and it's incredible, and it actually was incredible. I just got to give a shout out to it, which is interesting that I'm talking about it in the present, past, creational tense, whatever it means, but. The Minecrafting, so really cool thing. So and I believe that everybody has a element of Minecrafting. And it's interesting what I said why are people picking up creative habits? And that was my serious question that I had for him, and then he answered it immediately. But why do people have creative habits that they develop from creation to creativity that they consistently keep those creative habits? Like putting the chests next to each other, or the whatever they're called, those inventory boxes. They keep the inventory boxes next to one another. And that's what someone else did, 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 and someone else is doing, someone's obviously creating and building and Minecrafting and mining all the time. Obviously it's a non-stop creational event, for example, could be said. The issue though is not the fact that I pinpointed it because I was so pinpointy, which I don't want to get ever, but I may be. Pointy things. I don't even know what I'm talking about. The pinpointy things with just I gotta believe that I gotta limit his creative ability. You know what? And no one talks like that. Yeah, no one's. The thing is, anyway, I'm not evil. That's all I could say. So oh man, I know that. Okay, so moving forward, I should have. Never mind. I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. So yeah, the truth is, when I said 150 to 150s in the elite, that's good. I wanted the best of the best. You know, we're still doing elite stuff, best of the best stuff. But I think I want a larger number. But I also I think I want a larger number. So instead of 150, like I said before, or 300, like I said before, which also happens to be, like, for example, the number of families that were, like, the nobility or something. There were, like, 300 names, 300 families or stuff like that, of, like, the super elite, you know, have their names and stuff, which is important to know. It's on Era of Light. It's one of their posts. So, 300, I want to increase that number. I want to double it. So, we'll have 4 150s. So, like, 2 sets of, like, 150s sort of thing. Or 3 sets of 150s. Like, we have 150, 150, 150, 150. So, 600. I want 600 beings being that's the forefront. And I want at least 3 anchormen. I want 3 anchormen. I want 3 head anchormen. Yeah, you know what? Let's be bold and do that. I want 3 anchormen from that perspective of the 600, just full, like, in the forefront, almost like figureheads, but literally just like power speaking sort of thing. I want 3 anchormen for the 600, and I want 3 anchormen for Christopher Bowen show. I want I want to create something called an executive anchorman. So we'll have 1 executive anchorman. There'll be 1 executive anchorman, and we have our 6 head anchorman, which is really, so the 3 for the 600, and then the other 3 anchormen other 3 head anchormen for the Christopher Bowen show, and then I am the executive anchorman for the Christopher Bowen show. So, once again, Christopher Bowen show is also, in a way, the culmination of the Fire of Liberty of what happened in the last few years, but also the acceleration and the unity consciousness and the development of what it meant to actually achieve that victory and then flourish beyond it. And, you know, have feasts and abundances and celebrations and flourishing, like reigning glory, like that beautifulness, like that's the glory, like that beautifulness, Renaissance loving. That's what we're going for. So, like, gold falling from the sky, like raining chocolate, raining ice cream, raining candy, just raining bliss, just that bliss form, but like in love form. It's funny, I think things like, what do I need, like, me personally, like, as a being, like, what do I need, what are my wants and desires, anyway, so I want those things, and I don't want to have that meeting anymore, because I felt like I already had that meeting, I already conquered it. Oh snap, I forgot to mention, alright, so that one day, I was skateboarding. This is all about the news stuff. To say that I was in the news. But what's more important is actually the fudge. I don't know. Whatever's in the news today in the UT or YT or in the FT or whatever it's called, the market. The front page. I want to highlight that and say that. So yeah, ta-da. That was on the front page of the news. So we're just like news level, conversatory sort of thing. Wonderful. So I did a check, this morning, or that morning when I went on that trip. And in a way, I'm not going to lie, I was actually solar surfing, I was surfing on solar energy, on like the energy of Solaris, just full on, high speed, like coasting on magma sort of thing, except it's solar energy, it's hotter than that, hotter than magma. So, just coasting on that, going really fast. And I kind of did that all day. And then so, I stood in line for a little bit, and I knew it was hilarious because, that I bought what I bought, and, the people that were in line were obviously, it's like, in a way, I like to think like I wasn't even there, but in a way I was there, obviously. But, they were just I can just tell, in my own experience, they were terrified. They're just terrified. Just absolutely terrified. The left Democrats, they're just absolutely terrified. They're just terrified. They're just absolutely terrified. So, I went so ham, though, in a way. I was like, well, and then I was kind of making fun of it, obviously, making a joke. It was like, oh, I'm a Democrat. I am a Democrat, It's like, I am, acting like a whiny Democrat sort of thing. There's no soul, or it's just like, And the thing is that I'm not mean. But at the same time, I'm not stupid. I'm not Anyway, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but, Democrats are seriously, or I just say, the left or, the Democrats, but anyway. There's craziness going on. I mean, anyway. I don't need to explain that. I don't need to explain that. The point is that I'm tired. I'm just exhausted. There's so many things that can be done. Dude, I don't even need to talk to you guys, though. I could just talk to you, through Google. It could be so much fun. So, Google, go ahead and tell them about the email that I sent. The email that I sent to that email address. Google, go ahead and tell the world. Google, go ahead and tell the world about the email from the director of Project Lightseed. Go ahead and tell them about that email. I dare you. I double dare you. Google, it's already over. There's no way you can be evil anymore. So, yay, no more evil. The thing is, I also need to plan ahead. So, I'm thinking a lot about having literally the best form of reality to create. And the thing is, I'm able to do that with my innate self. And I don't have to rely on anything. There's nothing I need to rely on. But that's one thing that's unique about me. Gosh, I am so freaking just off. I hope that I'm not the one guy. I'm so tired. But the one guy who consistently says, I am constantly talking to Google and constantly informing them that they need to stop being technocratic bullies and that there needs to be freedom and that they need to do something about it and that they need to stop the slavery and that there should be more freedom. How can it... The thing is, it's more powerful than the American people. It is more powerful than America. Google is more powerful than America. It might be the most powerful thing on the planet. It's not even a country, but it's more powerful than a country. Google, we cannot have that. I mean, and who? That's the thing. Who am I going to talk to? Am I going to spend the rest of my life trying to convince people that Google is doing what Google's doing? Do I have to say that for the rest of my life? I don't want to have to say that for the rest of my life. I've already drawn a line. I mean, I don't even have... And the thing is that I'm doing today is I'm saying that there's a line that's been drawn, but nobody knows where that line is because I'm so far ahead, and I'm not bragging that, like, oh, I just want to be far ahead of everybody. You know, I want to have a freaking planet, you know? I mean, how hard is that? How come they can have all the fun? How come they can do everything that they want? How come they can have all the money, all the power in the world, and I gotta fart around with lying to everybody, saying that I love them enough that I'd be willing to do good things for them and willing to produce the positive things for the planet? Why do I have to be the one? Like, why do they have all that power? Why do they have to, like, have all the power and then just, like, not care about humanity? How is that fair? Like, how is that fair? Like, why can't I work as hard as I want and have trillions of dollars and be, like, a good person to the country and to the economy and to the people? Why can't I do that, you know? Why does it got to be, like, all the bad guys in the world got to have all the power, and then I'm got to be stuck convincing people for the rest of my life that all these guys have all the power and that I'm trying to unite with everybody so that we can all flourish? And, you know, I want to be the one who has trillions and trillions of dollars and wants to just what the fudge do I say? You know, like, I what do I even say? What do I even say? Like, what do I even say? Like, am I gonna say, like, I mean, I've been saying it, but what else do you want me to say? Like, how many people do you want me to talk to? How powerful do you want me to be? How hard do you want me to go? Like, these are questions that don't have answers, because they will never, ever have answers. Because the response that I have is for me. And apparently only for me. And the response that I have is only to scare the crap out of the globalists. That's the only thing that's happening. It seems like. That I can guarantee, at least. Because I know. Anyway, dude. I'm tired of that. I already confirmed it. I don't need to prove it to myself. I don't need to tell myself. I don't need to convince myself. I don't even care if I convince others or don't convince others. Because honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter. What? I'm going to convince people that... Dude, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to end this broadcast short. This is your host, Christopher Malcolm Curtis Bowen, on this late afternoon broadcast of the Christopher Bowen Show. With lots of love, I love you all.